You make me want to leave the one I'm with, start a new relationship with you. This is what you do. Something, 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 something thing going on with you.
So these are the love songs you were looking for?
You
the love
make
songs you were
me
talking about
want
that
to
used to
be.
exist?
Oh, I thought your Haitian brother, you would like that song. You
We
didn't
don't
feel the
claim
Haitian
Usher.
connection going through all of it?
We don't claim Usher.
Y'all don't claim Usher.
That nigga, as far as he's concerned, is not Haitian, bro. That nigga,
You
he
make
one of
me.
them Haitians that be
My
trying to
God,
hide
you
that shit.
ain't Haitian. The fuck? You just as Haitian as he's Haitian. So what's
No.
up?
I'll tell you straight up.
You make
Haitians
me
like
want to
that, they be
leave.
trying to hide that shit.
The one
We see
with...
that. We see that big ass nose. Fuck out of here. We know you Haitian.
Is that how y'all identify y'all cousin?
OD, bro.
You just point to everybody on the street, cousin.
You gotta go on that side and you try to pretend you're not Haitian. Fuck out of here, bro.
You make me want to be the one with... Start a new relationship with you. This is what you do. This is what you be singing to me, and you don't know it. Anyways, welcome back. Welcome back. Now that's gonna be my running joke to just keep saying welcome back, even though we're back.
Listen, it just feels so good to be back, baby.
Ooh,
we just gonna start changing our name every fucking 6 months.
Fuck it. Tomorrow we gonna be like the only black podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, facts.
Fuck it.
The People's Pod.
Niggas with jobs podcast. No. All right.
Trying to get out this 9 to 5. Fuck.
9 to 5. Oh my God, that shit makes me want to
Let's name
cry.
this episode "Fuck 9 to 5." Fuck 9 to 5.
Fuck the club up. Fuck the club
up, bitch. I don't know why you don't like that. I always thought you would like that song more.
I like that song. What are you talking about? That was one of my favorite songs. It's actually one of my favorite because it's stupid. I just don't know what the name of the song is because there's 7 songs within one song. So I don't know if that's a new song. Like, has the new one started or is that the old one still? Like, was this the old song I was already listening to?
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the song.
Exactly. You don't know.
No, I normally know because you asking me.
That's how Travis really be fucking y'all up. It's really all just one song. The whole album is one long ass song. Anywho, hello, whiners. We're here with another episode. I told you that's what I'm about to call her. Call him. What did you say?
Oh, no bystanders.
No bystanders. Oh, yeah. His name is
No bystanders.
It's not whining if you have wine, and trust me, I have plenty of it for all of us. For all
Always
of us.
got wine.
Okay, are you ready for this week's episode? Because I'm ready to be messy in a short amount of time.
Yes, ma'am. Let's jump right into it. Go ahead.
I bet. So, I'm trying to figure out why black men don't like black women. I'm here for all the smoke. Are you ready for the reason why I'm saying this?
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm sitting there scrolling on Instagram, minding my own business. my own business.
Black business.
And here comes Snoop Dogg jumping on my screen with his bullshit ass like post, and it really fucked me up. So are you ready? I'm about to read it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a picture of Gucci Mane and his wife. I believe her name is Keisha, right? I think her name is Keisha, something like that. It starts with a K. You know how to.
That nigga not Gucci Mane. That's Roderick Davis.
Yeah, he done fixed his teeth and fucked the game up. He said, "Fuck all y'all." But so he posted up a picture of them, and the caption says, right. Everyone wants this, but what y'all forgot was that she was with Wild Gucci, on drugs Gucci, cheating Gucci, in jail Gucci, publicly with other women Gucci. This is Gucci after therapy and rehabilitation. I think I just made that word up, but I don't care. This is a street man groomed in his 30s after he's been at his lowest point.
Hold on, it froze. I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Should I keep going? These people were listening. It don't matter. I'm going to just edit all of it out. Are you back with us?
I am.
Okay.
I'm back.
All right.
Welcome back.
I'm going to read it again because I'm probably just going to cut all that shit out. Okay. So he said, so everyone. But what y'all forget was she was with Wild Gucci, on drugs Gucci, cheating Gucci, in jail Gucci. Publicly with other women Gucci. This is a street man groomed in his 30s after he's been at his lowest. Point is, this is a rider, in all caps, a rider, because fuck the lower cap riders, right? Who knew what she signed up for? You bitches, because we gotta be bitches. is with the
I
next
hate
nigga
when you
after
do
a
that,
couple
bro.
fights.
I hate when you
Listen,
do
that's
that,
a different
bro.
conversation. This
No,
is
no,
a
no.
short episode. It's a
in
different
this too.
conversation.
It's in this too. It's in this too.
Why we gotta be bitches is all I got to say.
Why we gotta be
Why
niggas?
because
Why we gotta
the
be niggas?
Oh my God.
See,
Stop
that's
it.
why there's no point in having this conversation because you're just not wrong.
So
in your
I
mind.
wasn't trying to have this conversation. That's a whole different
No, it's
conversation.
not. It's part of this though.
It is not part of this.
It's part of this double standard you're talking about, but sometimes it's not a double standard. In this case, it's not a double standard.
I'm not talking about the bitches part. I would like to talk about all the other wild shit.
I bet you would, because the part that you're going to be wrong about, you don't want to talk about, right?
We can have that conversation later, but we argued about that last episode. So can we please move on to the fuckery that is in this caption? So based off this, I just want to know why Black women have to suffer in order to receive like love, like the correct like type of love from Black men. Why do y'all hate us so much? Because I read all of this. Y'all bitches want to leave after a couple fights, and that's not a couple fights. That's on drugs. That's cheating. That's in jail. That's publicly with other women, and that's after therapy. So that's some long ass time. And I'm just
you know what she
trying
did?
To figure out why do I have to?
She made a business decision.
Why? She did, and she was smart.
She made a business.
That was a smart business decision.
And I'm not saying
my heart,
and I'm not saying that there's no love there. I want nobody to understand what I say. A business decision. What I'm saying that figuratively in the sense you made an investment. When you make an investment, it's not clear immediately that the house that you invest in is gonna flip immediately to profit next week. It's gonna be some time, right?
So what type of? Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
So with that being said, right? I thought my dog was about to do some tough shit. With that being said, right?
Our dog.
My dog. But with that being said,
don't play with me. Not on this fine Friday. Don't do it.
But anyway,
not on this holy Friday.
But,
don't do that.
That being said, the investment that she made was in this person. Like you said, I see potential in them, which is fine. However, if you sign up for that, like Snoop said, nobody wants to hear anything. You signed up for that. You cannot complain about drugs when you started dating the druggie. You cannot complain about a drug dealer.
No, in her situation, that's fine.
You can't. No, okay, fine. We'll take it to civilians. We'll take it to civilians, right? Okay, go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. My issue with this is he is painting a picture as if this is the type of woman that we need to be in order to receive that type of man, right? I didn't hear nothing in here about how Gucci Man had to sit there and wait for her to grow up, because that's basically what the fuck she did, right? Waited for this man to grow up and rehabilitate himself in order to receive the correct like type of love. And I'm just trying to figure out, why do we have to be this quote unquote rider? Why do we have to like sit there and suffer while y'all grow up? And men do not take women like this. And that's my that's my issue here. Y'all will sit there and y'all need us to be fully packaged, correct, and all this other bullshit. But I gotta sit here and have you be on drugs. I gotta have you sit here and being a cheater. I gotta have you sit here and be in jail. Explain it to me in order to be the right type of person. Because this man really commented. Gucci definitely commented under it and said, "Yes, sir, my wife, my secret weapon." My nigga, please stop. Please stop putting this rhetoric out. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Did Gucci Man put a gun to that young lady's head and force her to be with him?
You saw what happened?
Did Gucci Man put a gun to that young lady's head to force her to be with him?
No.
Okay.
You didn't answer none of my questions.
Huh? Okay. What I'm getting at is this, right? Systemically, yes. The way it works right now is women get picked, and then because they get picked, they have to work with what they get, who picks them. The way it works systemically, that's the narrative that's being told currently, right? Years ago, when y'all couldn't get jobs on your own, you couldn't fend for yourselves, I would definitely, okay, that's unfortunate. I get that. Oh, I'm touching his balls. Sorry. With that being said, now it's a different ballgame. Y'all are much more independent now. You have got. I'm not saying it's even. I'm just saying y'all are much more independent now. So she doesn't need Gucci Man. She's choosing to be there. So with that being said, you're choosing to be with these people.
Again, so why do Black women have to sit here and suffer in order to receive good love just because she's choosing to be there? She still shouldn't have to suffer just because she like fell in love with this man. Like, we all know how hard it is to let someone go once we've like actually grown attachments to them. And I'm sure they've been together for a very long time. Like from what I remember, like this is what 10 years in the making or some shit. I could be making a number up, but however, it's been a very long time. We know how hard that is. My question is that you have not answered yet. You keep telling me she chose that. Obviously, we all choose the relationships, right? We all choose the people. What we don't choose is pain.
Yes, you
And
do, but you are.
No, but I'm not choosing to go through pain because you gave me the pain. I'm choosing to go through life like you, like my saying. It should be like me and you against the bullshit, not you giving me the bullshit and me having to like survive through that. Like that's not what the relationship is supposed to be like. And that's why I'm confused, because I just know that there's not a lot of men who's going to tolerate the same bullshit that like black men specifically, I'm only talking about these two groups right at this moment, treat and expect of black women. Like y'all really expect us to be the ride or dies, whatever, treat us like shit, fuck around with all these people, yada, 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 and still be your everything. And he clearly was not being her everything. That's some wild shit that's in there. So why? Just tell me why we have to suffer. Answer that part of the question, because you haven't yet, and we're halfway.
I feel like
there.
I have. I'll try to rephrase it another way now, and I'll say something different.
You telling me she deserved, like, so you telling me she deserved it because she fell in love with this man? So you're victim blaming.
You're making it seem like that's supposed to make you feel differently or something.
No, I didn't. It's funny because that's what you're doing. You're blaming the victim because she chose this person that she thought she could trust, she thought would be true to her, wouldn't put her through bullshit, but because she fell in love with this person, that's her fault. Him treating her that way is her fault.
Why can't it be both?
No. I'm asking you a question. Answer the question.
Wait, what?
Stop giving me questions.
Oh, I said that before you answered the question. I said that before you asked the question. What was the question?
I said... it's her fault then that she fell in love with this man, right? Put her trust in this person. He destroys the trust multiple times, and that's her fault. It's her fault.
No, it's not her fault what he did. What he did is not her fault.
So
she did not cause that.
So why?
No, her pain, her continuous pain is her choice and decision.
Back to my question: why do black women have?
You don't have to.
In order to receive love,
you don't have to.
Yes, we do, because he's not the only person who thinks like this, and I know, especially hood niggas. I know for a fact. I can count 5 of them on my head right now in my head who think the same exact way, that women are supposed to be going through all this bullshit in order to receive this, like, I don't know, like when y'all come into y'all enlightenment and realize that they deserve the correct type of love. Like I guess I'm just overhearing that.
It's 2 things. Number 1, remember that time when I once asked you, I said, why do y'all keep staying with men that don't give y'all orgasms? Yes, you said, well, who else we gonna fuck? That's on you. Why you keep staying?
The same situation here.
Exactly. So it's like you are choosing to be with something that is not what you want. Y'all get mad at men. Women get mad at men that are too picky about women's toenails or her hair, or her edges, and things like that. Well, if I don't want it, why am I picking it?
Wait, what?
If I don't want something, why am I picking it? However, the reason why, like we talked about earlier, systemically, we as men have been conditioned to be the chooser. Y'all have been conditioned to be chosen. However, that is changing now. Because y'all got your hot boy summer and everything. You got your man, you got all that shit empowering. Like, everything's empowering y'all. So the time, that's why I'm less forgiving. Because there's so much more empowerment now for y'all to say, fuck that, I'm not dealing with that.
That's mad wild. Like, you have to understand that you're like, it sounds like you're okaying it based off of the fact that we don't have to deal with it, obviously. But you also have to understand that there's more. It's not so straight cut and logical. Like, there are times where you go through things and you're like, maybe this is just like a thing he has to grow out of. But like, men in general refuse to, like, Actually, you know what? Let me revamp. Men refuse to like stop fucking with women and being in actual relationships until they're like literally ready.
Okay.
Like they've actually grown up. And I feel like women have to be this like perfect package. We have to be ready and grown up to be chosen. And yet men do not have to be this way. So therefore,
False.
men feel
False.
men feel there are a lot of men like Snoop and Gucci Man apparently feel as if in order to get this great rehabilitated man, you have to go through all of this bullshit he puts you through. Not that life puts you through, but that he puts you through. And I feel like that's fucked up. Obviously, like on both sides, like you know, like you're gonna go through things. Obviously, it's not gonna be perfect, but there are some really glaring things that you should not be putting your partner through. That's my personal opinion. And I'm just trying to figure out why our pain is matched to our worth. How much we can withstand is matched to our worth. And I'm over it.
Why is our pain matched to our worth? You get that from Tumblr?
And, I mean, because that's what that... Yeah, hell yeah. Merch on the way. But, like, I just feel like that's what it is. Like, men equate, in general, how much, especially black women, can take. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever heard a black man talk about his mother? And how much he went through and how much she suffered and like went through trials and tribulations. And the more she's like suffered, the higher up, you know what I mean? Like she is on the list of worthiness. Fuck that.
Black people know pain. That's what we know.
Like worth, huh?
Black people know pain. That's what we know.
But and that's what I'm trying to
don't make that a black men thing. Don't make that a black men thing. Don't make that.
Okay, but right now we're talking about a black men thing. So
no,
like,
but you're taking that and putting
on
that on us as if that's a black male thing when that's a black thing.
Sure.
That's not. I just disagree.
Okay, and we can agree to disagree.
Nah, but
I'm mature enough to do that sometimes.
Yeah, fuck. I knew better. That's because I knew better. I knew better. But nah, like with this thing, like to go back to what you said before, like why do y'all have to suffer? You don't have to. You don't have to.
But there are men out here that really feel as if like if I cheat on you and you don't stick by me, like then you really wasn't for me. Like that. And,
what do you always say?
Like,
leave him, sis.
Yes, leave him. Obviously, that's the advice that I'm going to give. Like you should not be going through bullshit like that. I personally will like. I will always give somebody a chance, right? I'll be like, all right, you fucked up. Let's try, right? You've used your get out of free, like, you've used it up. It's gone now. So moving forward, like, you should understand how this is going to go. Because I'm pretty sure you've had that conversation beforehand. This is not a new concept. But for some strange reason, there are a lot of men out there that feel like, if I put you through this, then you're worthy of this ring. Now you're worthy of being my wife because you withstand all of this bullshit. And that's bullshit to me. Like, obviously, sis, please, if you're listening to this, I really want everybody to turn this up. If you're listening, please leave that man. Leave him twice. Leave him 3 times. Whatever you got to do, get the fuck up out of there because it's not worth it. However, black men, I need you to also listen. Don't turn me off because I know y'all mad. But I need you to understand. You got to stop putting her through things and thinking that that's worth. You know what? You know, oh, they can't see that I'm sticking my middle finger up at you. But you got to understand her worth is really not tied to how much you put her through. And that's mad toxic. Y'all are really out here being toxic. And it's bad. It's bad.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
God bless those women that they're with. Right. God bless them.
You're right. You're 100% right.
What'd you say? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Nope. Okay, here we go. Now I can hear you.
So you said my mother's name and then she started calling me. But with Snoop, like, I mean,
toxic. Because you know that you're toxic.
You know, as a partner, he said, this is a street man groomed in his 30s. It's a very specific person to talk about. What's the girl's name? Keisha Kaiwa? That's her name?
I believe that's her. I believe that's her name.
Right.
Let's go with that.
All right, cool. She chose to get involved with a street nigga. There's a lot that's gonna come with that.
Wait, so being a street, okay, so let's take out jail, right? Being a street nigga doesn't mean you have to be on drugs. I know a lot of street niggas that's not on drugs. I don't have to. That's not something I choose. Because if you're selling drugs, that's one thing, right? So if he went to jail, like, cool, I can understand why you're like, I'm gonna stick by him because you knew that, like you said, that's something you chose. However, you don't just because you're a street nigga doesn't mean you have to cheat on me. Like, we're associating this stuff with like the streets and like black people, and I personally think that's a cop out. Just because you do like if you're of those things does not mean that you have to like you portray those things. Everybody in there is portraying those things. You cheating, cop out. You on drugs, cop out. You out here with other women, cop out. So lie again. Go ahead. Tell me what else. Tell me all the other pain that I've chosen.
If I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say.
Oh damn! I didn't have enough water. I'm
gonna just say this. I'm gonna say it one more time. Some things, someone is more prone. You're more prone to experience based on the lifestyle they live. I think you're pretty safe based on choosing me. That you ain't got to worry about your man doing a bid. I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty certain, bro. You ain't got to worry about doing jail visits. You ain't got to worry about doing conjugal. You ain't got to worry about putting money in my commissary. It's probably just not going to happen, right? However, comma, if you choose to date a nigga that sells drugs with tattoos on his face, holds guns around, is known to fight people, probably killed people before you.
Again, we're like, do you feel as if like hood men that these are all the things that they do?
Not all hood, but this nigga, yes. What the fuck?
Okay, so let's take that out, right? Let's stop acting as if like all these men who do these things are from the hood. I know a lot of men.
I'm not talking about the cheating and stuff. I'm talking about wild Gucci, drugs Gucci, jail. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about cheating because cheating is a universal
But I already
thing.
took the. But that's what I'm okay. I guess that's what I'm equating it to. So take the hood part out, right? Take the jail part out, right? You still have men out here who's on drugs
and cheating.
You still have men out here that are
cheating.
And cheating. I guess that's more of where I'm coming from, right?
Valid.
Because obviously they're like not everybody's taking like or selling drugs. So okay, let's take that part out. Cool. But there are a bunch of men out here that are putting women through a bunch of wild shit that's got nothing to do with street life.
Okay.
Now what?
You can leave.
Now what?
You can leave.
Obviously, but that's
but who's
doing that?
Everybody's stressed out in relationships.
Everybody's
stressed out in relationships. You making it seem like women are just out here saints, not doing anything.
I never said that. I literally said you know what? I wish I had the technology to rewind this bitch back, find that specific clip, input it right here for you, so that you can hear me say, obviously, a relationship is not going to be perfect. You're going to have growing pains. There are things about you that I had to learn and grow with, and there are things about me that you had. You said, what happened?
I'm perfect.
What happened?
I'm a wholesome brother.
You couldn't even get that shit out because that was God. That was God.
I had to stop.
Stop the lies.
I had to stop.
The lies.
No, that's not regular conversation.
Like looking at you though, like you wouldn't think like, oh, he's this, he's that, because you're not of this whatever life, even though I still don't agree with that just because you're other whatever, different conversation. But what I'm saying is I can't tell that by looking at you, and you're not gonna give me all that straight up front. So if you start cheating or if you start doing drugs and shit like that, right?
I also didn't know you were crazy, and I found out.
But I'm already emotionally attached to you, so giving this idea of like just leave is not necessarily the answer. So that's why I'm like, when is it are we going to focus on the men and say, men, you are fucking up in the sense where you feel as if you have to put her through things, like in order for her to like be worthy of your time. And I don't understand. Like I was reading something on Tumblr. Fuck you. I know you're about to say something about Tumblr, but I love it. And it was basically talking about how this person's friend, he was all torn up because he felt as if the girl he wanted to marry, which he was cheating on, talking to other women on, you know, disrespecting all kinds of wild shit, like ended up moving on when they like broke up or whatever, quote unquote broke up, and she ended up getting engaged, and now she's about to be married. Now he's feeling all types of like some type of way because he's like, she should have stuck by me, and she should have like helped me figure out my bullshit, or like waited until I was done with my bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like not laugh because it's stupid. And in order for like him to like settle down and be ready and like wife her up in a sense. So now he's all fucked up because this man has realized her worth without putting her through bullshit and has decided to marry her. When he felt, you know, she should have been a rider. She should have like let me do what I had to do in order to grow up and then still have been there when I was ready. And God bless sis for leaving. God bless for for figuring it out quicker, because there are really men out here that really feel as if like whether they're in a relationship or not, well, let me back that up. That even if they're in a relationship, they still have the right to do whatever, because when they're ready, you should be ready for them. You should be here through the beginning to the end, all the women in between. And I don't agree with being hurt for some shit like that. I just don't. There's like nothing anyone can say to make me feel otherwise. You can't sit there quiet, bro. They don't know what you're doing.
It's just
think out loud.
It's just it just ain't got. It just is what it is at this point, bro. Because at the end of the day, you know, because there's so many things you say. I just want to say, but y'all, and I hate that. You know, I hate that shit. But y'all argument, right? But y'all do this too. But y'all said this. But y'all did that. I hate that shit. And at this point, it really just, I think in relationships, I even hate that idea of like you just gotta oh, you're just gonna suffer through things, because then that could get misconstrued into I have to let someone cheat on me, I have to let someone beat me, I have to let someone steal from me. So it's like I never say that, because that could be misconstrued in so many different ways. I think what people going into relationships need to understand is two things. Number one, people get into relationships too early and they expect too much from it. I think that like we try to emulate marriage, we try to emulate these two when you just graduated. Some people like not even graduate from college yet, and they over here living together, they sharing bills together. Like that shit, like you need to wait. Like wait.
Well, like don't put age on it.
I'm not.
Because I've seen some very successful young relationships. No, but I'm just saying, like, I personally wouldn't put an age or like a time frame. Like, you have to be like ready for you, not necessarily a limit.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that, because here's why. Because you'll be the first person to say, why is that 40-year-old man trying to date that 21-year-old girl?
That's obviously a very starkly different things, because mentally you are in two different places. But if there are two people about the same age and they decide like, you know what, after high school we would like to stay together, after high school we'd like to move in, or college we'd like to move in with each other, there are some people who are very sure and they are very like willing in their convictions to stick things out and work through things together. That's their maturity level, if that makes sense. That's for them. What I'm saying is I wouldn't say you have to wait till you're 30 in order to be doing all of those things, because like you said, the maturity levels are there. There's difference there.
But I wasn't talking about the comparison. What I was talking about is, because you just said it right there, there is a stark difference in what you're thinking, making the assumption that at a certain age you are at a certain place, which means that you are assuming that, which means you're contradicting yourself. Because in one, you're saying age determines where you're at development. Because you just said there is a stark difference between someone who's 40 and someone who's 21.
Because you've been through different things, right? You've gone through way more. You've gone through literally 20 more years of experience than this other person. So you do have more knowledge on other things. So therefore, like if you look at like whatever studies, whatever, people who are usually in those like very starkly different relationships, and especially like when one is very old and one is very young, like in their 20s, it's more of a manipulative thing. And that's what I'm talking about when it becomes something like that, versus your maturity level, and at least your maturity under what you want out of a relationship, and that other person also meeting you at that level. I wouldn't put an age to that, but there is in my opinion, there is a stark difference between you being 50 and she being like 22. Like,
okay, now with that being said,
you've gone
right?
through a
The
lot of.
assumption is that because you've only lived 22 years, you only have this certain grasp of the world. So what I'm saying to you is that people who've only gone to 19, 20, 21, they've only grasped so much of the world. You're not
But they've grasped
wait.
You're right.
You've only grasped so much. You can't go around and say like, hey, like this is what I want to I mean, this is what I want to, what you call it, how I want to live my life. This is what I want to do. I want to live the rest of my life with you. You haven't even lived life.
But my thing is that in my opinion, that does not matter if they're willing to do those two things together. And I think that's the difference between like people when they get in relationships. One is ready for marriage and one is ready to date. And those are two different things. If you're together already and you're ready to date, and then you're ready to marry, and then you're ready to have kids, and you're doing it all together, like that's different between you meeting at two different spots. Like that could be like, obviously they don't know life, so obviously you don't know all that life has to give you, but what they do know is they want to do with that person. And I would not put an age limit on it because I've seen people successfully do it. And so that's why
I
I'm
think
saying,
you believe in love too much, and okay, my bad.
My guy, that is destroyed. Like, there's my idea of what I think love should be, and then I think there's my idea of what I know what love is. What I'm saying is I've seen people do it, and I would not put it towards an age. Just because you don't know what life has to throw at you doesn't mean I don't want this person to be here to do it with me. If they have that connection, I would say go ahead and do it. If you're on that same page, I would say go ahead and do it. Things change, but if they want to do that and they're together on that idea, then do that. Because you could say that at any time. Why would you get married at any time? I don't know what 50s have in store for me. I don't know what 40s have in store for me. And yet, if I want to do it with you, then I want to do it with you. My age doesn't necessarily have anything to do with it versus me and you being on the same accord. And I feel like a lot of people are not on the same accord when it comes to relationships.
So then if a 50-year-old and 21-year-old spend enough time together, then they get on the same accord.
No.
It is not about it's not about where they're it's not about where they're individually, it's about where they're at together.
That's nasty.
See, now you just have a bias, and it's just a different conversation.
No, I'm not having a bias. It's literally like, I mean, there are studies on this that are literally saying like this shit is manipulation. Like, you have to understand.
There's also
like,
studies saying that black people have smaller brains than white people.
Obviously, but you're not taking my experiences or any other body's experiences like into account. That was just some racist shit, obviously. So like, there's no backing towards it, versus like an actual like study, like where this shit is like time and time again have been proven. People who are more likely to get into those relationships have manipulated their younger partner, and that's why I'm saying that you are on one accord and you are near the same age and you're coming out of high school, college, whatever, and you want to get married, then do that. Like I'm saying, that's fine. But if he's, like I said, if he's 50 and you're 20 or whatever, or she's 50 and you're 20, that's not okay. Y'all are not at the same point in life. And the manipulation aspect is where I will always question, what is this relationship actually like? What does it look like on the inside of this relationship? Because that's the difference for me. I feel like you're being devil's advocate, and that's not fair when it comes to...
Oh, no, definitely not. Not on this one.
Then it's definitely not fair for you to compare two people who are at the same like point in life and have the same goals and understanding of what they want in life versus someone who's been through a lot of life and someone who has not, and someone manipulating the other in that relationship.
But you are... Because, like, this is why I say there's a bias, because you are immediately adding to that storyline manipulation and negative things. With the first one, you didn't take into account that people do that at that age too. Some men at the same age, we spent the first half of this podcast talking about men being tried.
I also did not bring up an age gap. Like, that wasn't me who brought that up. So that's the only reason why we're talking about that. I was focusing on... But
an age gap does not automatically include manipulation.
And what I also... Okay, sure. And that is also correct. And I also just said, if I saw those two people together, the first thing I would want to say is like, what does the inner workings of your relationship look like? Because obviously everybody who has an age gap is not being manipulated. However, there's more than there is not people who are in those type of relationships being manipulated. And that's where the problem comes in for me, right? Personally, if we're talking about two people who want to be together and they're on the same accord, they are all together, I don't see why they would have to like wait until their whatever age to get married. I personally just don't see that because they've already figured it out together what they want to do.
Okay.
Man, I hate you.
Okay.
I do. I deadass hate you. I don't even know why we started this podcast because all you do is get me tight. Every episode, I'm tight. I'm just.
You came to me with this shit.
Anywho, Snoop Dogg, treat your wife better because God bless that lady. And Gucci Man, please treat your wife better. And all you other motherfuckers out here. All you other motherfuckers out here, please don't be like them. Be better. Don't have me get Derrick Jackson on you, motherfuckers. I had to roll your eyes.
I ain't gonna say shit.
Because you know he was definitely in them comments. I definitely wanted to send it to you, but whatever.
I ain't got nothing to say. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's my new shit, the Jordan side.
All right. We 30 minutes and I'm ready to go home.
I bet.
Even though I'm like literally recording in my living room, but I'm ready to go home. Mm-hmm. All right, love you, Michael. Bye.
I'll see you soon.
Stop acting like that. Like me. That's not funny. Because the shit you be sending me in my text message don't be matching the energy you be giving me on this podcast.
You know that's what men do outside. Like, I don't fuck with her. I don't love her like that. I don't love her. Fuck out of here. Be home over here rubbing her toes and shit.
Be like, baby, you know I was just playing.
And y'all dumbasses be feeding on that shit too. All right, have a blessed night, everybody.
Bye.